What's up, guys? Jordan from Precondo here, just doing a quick video update here on the Toronto condo market. Now is a really good time to do this video, end of December here, or approaching the end of December, approaching holidays at least, and some trends have been made clear. Earlier in November, I did a podcast with my friend Daniel Foch. It's worth watching. I'll link it in the description. We talked about where we saw the condo market headed, and one of the things I said was that I thought that we were very rapidly approaching the bottom of the condo market, and I thought that bottom would be December. And it looks like the data is supporting my sort of prediction there. It looks like it looks like the bottom is now, or even a few weeks ago, and things are going to start to trend up again. And I'm going to get into the reasons as to why. So what you're looking at right now is a graph of the average detached selling price in Toronto going back January 2015 through today, and the average condo selling price up until now, and a multiple between the two, meaning that if you had, if your average condo selling price was $500,000 and your average detached selling price was $1 million, then you have $1 million divided by 500,000. You have a 2x multiple. And historically speaking, what we're looking for is a 2x multiple. Somewhere between 1.8 and 2.2 seems to be the long-standing norm. Of course, in 2015-16, the detached market got incredibly frothy. Homes were selling with 20 offers, way over ask, and then of course we had the mortgage stress test, which kind of caused the correction in the detached price and normalized us back down to that, what I would call a healthy price multiple of 2. So meaning, again, if a condo runs you 500K, and then your average detached should cost you about $1 million. Somewhere around there is where we consider things to be healthy. Now, of course, over the last 12 months, or 8 months, I should say, thanks to COVID and just a change in buyer trends, right? You've got a lot of people with a ton of equity in condos because over the last 3 years, condos have appreciated almost 50%. And now everyone's working from home, they're looking for more space. And so, of course, you see detached prices run up. You get a glut of inventory in the condo market because Airbnbs are sitting in the long-term rental market. People aren't getting the rental yield they're looking for. Rental prices are declining. So you're seeing some investors, kind of run for the doors and try to sell their units. So you're getting way more resale inventory on the condo market. So over the last 12 months, what's happened is you can see that the median or the average price multiple is starting to creep up. So we're starting to approach a 2.5x multiple where, detached prices have been soaring and condo prices have been kind of stagnating. So that gap is widening again, and it's ripe for correction. Now, of course, we've got the vaccine coming in the new year. A lot of people are going to start returning to work probably in the second, third quarter of next year. And I'm anticipating, obviously, as the government has announced, we're going to see all-time high immigration and other bullish factors heading into the new year. But I don't think we even really have to wait to see those factors play out before we see condo prices start to run up again, or at least normalize. And the reason for that is because the inventory is declining rapidly. So this chart here is from Scott Ingram on Twitter. He does some great data and analysis. And you can see the green line there, the thick green line is condo inventory on the market this year, and you can see a pretty steady decline through December. Now, it's worth noting, not all of that inventory has been absorbed. Obviously, a fair amount of that is terminations. People are canceling their listings with the plans probably to relist in the new year. Anecdotally, my colleague Riley here shared a little story. He had two listings, 55 Stewart and 23 Brant, which are both, very hot buildings in the entertainment district that are normally very easy to sell units in. These were beginner units, 1-bedroom units. He had them on the market and had to actually terminate these listings due to them going kind of stale. But in the last couple of weeks, he's received calls from agents. So after terminating the listing, agents have called him looking if they're still willing to sell, which means the agents had an interested buyer, an interested party in purchasing those units. What that tells me, that if an agent is going through the expired listings and trying to find what their client is looking for, well, that tells you that the inventory on the resale market is starting to dry up because they can't find it. And you can see that here as well. So it's not just listing terminations. In fact, there's a ton of sales volume happening. You can see this is sales volume year over year for condos and freeholds. And you can see here that in December, we're up 50% year over year. So this December, we're selling 50% more condos despite being locked down than December of last year. And I can tell you firsthand experience, my team and me, absolutely we're feeling it. This is the busiest December I've ever experienced by far. Normally, especially by this time, third week or second or third week of December, things are really starting to slow down usually. Not the case right now. People are calling, a lot of people, a lot of investors, opportunistic investors, and also a lot of end users looking to get into the market, or at least sign for something before the new year. So in my opinion, the bottom has been reached. And if you were someone who was waiting for the bottom, I think you may have missed it. Now, there's nothing wrong with buying into strength, right? Prices are probably going to start to trend up, or at least those deals, those amazing deals are going to start to get more and more sparse into the new year. But there's still a lot of opportunity. There's still a lot of condos on the market that normally would have sold in multiple offers that you can pick off today in decent buildings for less than you would have paid in February, for example. And finally, I just want to talk about months of inventory. So this chart is also from Scott. This chart has to do with months of inventory. If you've watched my videos before, MOI is my favorite indicator because it can tell you where the market is starting to trend. So anything below 3 months of inventory is a seller's market. You can see here, freehold is absolutely on fire at 1.2 months of inventory, but condos are now officially back in a seller's market. They're under 3 months of inventory once again, and under 3 months of inventory is where you expect to see prices increase. Between 3 and 5 or 3 and 6 months of inventory is considered about a balanced market. That's where you see prices maybe slow, moderate growth over a long period of time, or even price stagnation. And of course, north of 5 or 6 months of inventory is considered a buyer's market where there's a ton of inventory and not a ton of demand. So condos are heading back into seller's market territory. And so if you are looking for a deal, now is your time to look. As always, the overwhelming story with investing in Toronto real estate is, of course, a lack of supply. Our immigration targets are immense. They're huge. And we know from experience the vast majority of that immigration lands in Ontario, and specifically the GTA. And we just can't deliver enough homes to meet the demand. And so, like I tell people all the time, trying to time the bottom is incredibly difficult. Don't feel bad if you missed it, because I think most of us did. It was probably a few weeks ago. Time will tell, right? It remains to be seen how many of those listings come back on the market in January. And if all of this demand that we have currently, all of this crazy demand we have in the condo market right now, if that carries into January, all that remains to be seen. So I'm not going to say adamantly that this is absolutely the bottom. What I will say, it definitely feels like it. Definitely feels like the bottom has come and went very quickly. As we predicted on my podcast with Daniel Foch, this is exactly what we said. It's going to flip very quickly, and that that lull in the market is going to be hard to catch. And I think that's what we're seeing right now. If you are looking for a deal on the resale market, now is the time. There is also a couple of really good pre-construction projects that have launched this year. One in particular that really blew my mind. There's still some 1-bedrooms under $500K. And if this project in this neighborhood by this builder launched last year, there would have been well over 1,000 worksheets, despite the fact that there's only 200 odd units available. So it would have sold out 5 times over the same weekend they opened up to the public. But of course, because of COVID, they're only about 50% sold out. So there's still some really good opportunity there. If you are looking for a condo to invest, if you have any questions, comments, leave them in the comments below. Give this video a like. And yeah, if you're looking to acquire some real estate, reach out to me or someone on my team. We'll be more than happy to help you out. Happy holidays, and take care till the next video, guys.